Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Monday, July 21st, 2025 meeting of the Wilson School Board. Roll call, please.
Mr. Case?
Here.
Mrs. Denny?
Here.
Mr. Hart?
Here.
Mrs. Casper?
Here.
Dr. Kennedy?
Here.
Mr. McCray?
Here.
Mr. McCree?
Here.
Mr. Schneider?
Here.
Mrs. Cocker?
Here.
9 present, 0 absent.
Please stand for the pledge to the flag. This evening, we have no communication items. Mr. Maravich, do you have any solicitor announcement? I do not. Okay. And just checking, Mrs. Burkholder, we do not have public participation?
No public participation.
Okay, thank you. The board did meet in executive session prior to tonight's meeting to discuss contracts. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the Wilson School Board meeting held on July 7th, 2025.
Schneider, so moved.
Mr. Schneider, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. McCree, thank you. Any discussion? Okay. This is a voice vote, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Last meeting, we did not have committee reports, so this evening, first one is Human Resources, Mrs. Casper.
Yes, thank you, President Cocker. I have a quick report. We met on July 9th. We discussed our Flex 125 provider for the 25-26 school year, and we will be remaining with CBIZ. Additionally, the 2 items under Human Resource section today were also discussed, which are the updated support staff rate and hourly teacher rates. We also reviewed the open professional positions that we have remaining for the 25-26 school year, and our administrative team is working diligently to fill those remaining openings, and we've even been able to get a little bit of an update earlier today at an executive session. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Casper. Any additional board appointed reports? Mrs. Schlossman for Berks EIT.
Good evening. The Berks Tax Collection Committee met on June 26th. We are happy to report good news again. Earned income tax, local services tax, and business privilege tax distributions to school districts and municipalities for calendar year May 2025 year to date increased over the same period last year. Earned income tax, $95 million was distributed, which is $4.5 million higher than last year, or 5%. Local services tax distributions were $3.5 million, 28,000 or 1% higher over the same time last year. And business privilege taxes were $3.9 million or 200,000 over last year, which is 6.5% higher, which is great news for all the districts and municipalities. Delinquent employer EIT prosecution enforcement, which began in 2022, still continues. We have $1.6 million in charges filed. 1.1 of that has been collected to date. As a result of those efforts, we continue to pursue those employers who are delinquent, and compliance with the tax law is our goal in this area. Our next quarterly meeting is in September. Thank you.
Thank you for your report. Other board appointed, Mr. Schneider?
I was just from the legislative end going to mention that the budget still has not been passed, and if the article that I read today was correct, we are the last state of the 50 to not pass our budget for the year yet. A bill has made it through the House and I believe through the Senate, but they are very, very different, so reconciliation of the package is probably a little time off.
Thank you for that update. Other reports? No? Oh, Mrs. Denny?
I just want to also add that on a federal level, to add to what's happening on the state level, Governor Shapiro has joined in with the lawsuit that a number of states have brought about the Trump administration's impoundment of about $230 million of funds that have already been congressionally approved for Pennsylvania. $230 million is a lot of money, obviously, for Pennsylvania. The good news is, obviously, we're suing to get it changed, but even if it doesn't change, the impact on Wilson is far lesser than it would be on a lot of other schools. It does not impact Title I funds, which is the majority of our funding. We get about $1.2 million from the feds, and about 3/4 of that is Title I funding. So the impact, if this were to be held up, it impacts Title II, III, and IV, which is about $300,000 for Wilson. However, there is an increase in Title I if it goes through as is trying to happen, and so it would actually be about $200,000 that would be impacted for Wilson.
I also wanted to kind of piggyback on that. I know related to the update that I gave on the literacy, our partnership with the Literacy Council, I had mentioned that we shouldn't have a problem with the budget passing there, and they're actually withholding this year's funding. So we have definitely made some cuts at the Literacy Council. There will be cuts to classes, so I'm not sure what's happening with my class, which is actually through another funding source. So we'll have to see if that comes through. If I'm hoping it does, and I'm prepared to teach the course anyway. But I just wanted to give that update because I really none of us ever thought they would withhold this year's budget. So this year's budget is completely withheld.
Thank you for putting that in local perspective, too, that it's affecting more than just school districts. Yeah. So I have a BCTC update. I am Mrs. Casper's alternate, and on June 25th, attended the BCTC meeting for their joint operating committee. And they voted on and passed their annual budget. And I think it's a really interesting, I think it would be neat to have everybody kind of take turns being an alternate for this program, because there are a lot of, obviously we know at the student side, right, that our students go to BCTC, they have, a long list of options for their programs, but something that, especially for BCTC, is a big revenue source is the adult continuing education programs, which I think is really helpful, especially in the areas that we need more workers in. That's kind of where they can go for their training. And they actually, I don't know if this is the first time, I feel like it's the first time because it was a pointed aspect of our conversation. There are not, so they have daytime and evening classes for adults, and they actually have less access for adults during the day now because there are so many students attending BCTC. So they're kind of taking the slots from the adults, which is a good problem from the school perspective, but for our community and for the revenue for BCTC is hurting a little bit. But I think that's a good problem to have, that more students are attending the program and kind of taking the spots for the adults. So if you have anybody in your life that, is interested in maybe a second career or improving their skills from the adult aspect, BCTC is also a local source for training in a lot of areas. So that's my report from BCTC. Any other reports from the board for a board appointment? No? Okay. Then we will move on to superintendent's report. Dr. Schrickett.
Thank you, President Cocker. I do have, again, a pretty standard report for this time of year. We have one retirement. I wish Catherine the best after serving the Wilson School District as a driver for 29 years. Also have some resignations. Again, wish all those folks well and as they transition into different roles and some into their version of retirement. Change in status, again, pretty standard for this time of year, summer employment. And then one professional hire. We have Sarah Ritchie, who will be joining us as the last hire that we had to fill the 8th grade middle school math additional staff members. So this will make us whole in both of our middle schools and all of our math programming. And then lastly, under extracurricular, I just wanted to take a minute and note that high school marching band or director of bands, Mr. J.T. Hauser, is on this agenda. The community is aware that we're in a state of transition. Mr. Hauser was announced to the music community previously. However, this is the formal board motion and authorization for him to shift from our director of bands at the middle school, at West Middle School, to the high school director of bands. And you'll also see today on the agenda that he is pretty well on his way to establishing the team of professionals and adults to work and serve our children. That's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Trickett. Looking for motion to approve superintendent's items 4.1 through 4.7.
President Cocker? Excuse me.
Yes.
Can we pull out change in status?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
I apologize for not noticing it earlier.
Oh, that's all right. No
Separate.
problem. Okay, so we will vote 4.1 through 4.3 and 4.5 through 4.7, and then we'll go back and do 4.4. So looking for a motion for 4.1 through 4.3, 4.5 through 4.7.
So moved. Case?
Mr. Case, thank you. Seconded, Dr. Kennedy. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mrs. Casper.
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. McCray.
Yes.
Mr. McCree.
Yes.
Mr. Schneider.
Yes.
Mr. Case.
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Looking for a motion for 4.4, change of status. Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Do we have a second?
Casper?
Mrs. Casper, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Mr. Schneider.
Yes.
Mr. Case.
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Abstain?
Mrs. Casper.
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. McCray.
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 abstain.
Under Human Resources, 5.1, request approval of the support staff compensation ranges for the 2025-26 school year as attached. 5.2, request approval of the hourly teacher rates for the 2025-26 school year. Looking for a motion to approve Human Resource items 5.1 and 5.2.
Casper?
Mrs. Casper, thank you. Do we have a second? Mr. Hart, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. McCray.
Yes.
Mr. McCree.
Yes.
Mr. Schneider.
Yes.
Mr. Case.
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mrs. Casper.
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Under Student Services, 6.1, request the adoption of a settlement agreement and waiver as presented. 6.2, request approval of the application for Act 80 days for elementary and secondary for the 2024-25 school year as presented. 6.3, request approval of a service agreement with Pathways Educational Consulting to provide MA access billing, accounting, and documentation at a rate of $55 per hour for up to 30 hours per week as presented. And 6.4, request approval of the BCIU Safety and Security Consortium Services Agreement for the 2025-26 school year at a rate of $6,000 as presented. Looking for a motion to approve student service items 6.1 through 6.4. Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Do we have a second?
Schneider.
Mr. Schneider, thank you. Any discussion? Yes, Dr. Kennedy.
I just want to point out that with all of the changes that are coming through on Medicaid, especially for our special education students, that I think that this position is super important for us to have, because when this if this funding goes, we will be at a serious loss with the large amount of special education students. And I think I've said this before at board meetings, but I don't know that everyone is aware how much Medicaid covers some of our related services for our special education students. So hopefully whoever we have for this position will be able to find us as much money as we are owed, because unfortunately it looks like a lot of our funding is going to get cut.
Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. Any other discussion for student services?
I just had a quick question with the Act 80 days. I'm not sure if we all talk to folks in the community, teachers, et cetera, and community members about, I have a question on the 2 days before the Thanksgiving holiday that we're releasing kids at 11 o'clock in the morning. Do we have a lot of folks that take vacations early? And it's like, what do you get accomplished during those days as a student? What do we do in those days?
Yeah, so a little bit different than Act 80. This is our report looking back into the school year and submitting it as a required report for the state. But specifically those 2 dates, the reason we dismiss early is to provide time for conferences, so parent-teacher conferences. So half-days is a debate that we've had ever since I've probably been an assistant principal regarding the effectiveness on a day like that for children and students. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is getting time with our teachers so that they have time to focus on planning, collaboration, looking at curriculum, looking at assessments. The school year is just so tight. The teacher's contract provides 188 days, and then as we know, currently, we're expected to educate children 180 of those days if we go with the daily count. So what we try to do is there's different ways to look at the school year. You can use instructional hours or instructional days. What we've tried to do with those early dismissals, and we've limited them in this calendar last year and again this year, is really make sure that they're targeted for things like parent-teacher conferences. Some school districts neighboring us have as many as 14 half-days. We, a few years ago, took a very different approach because, again, I share in the question, I'm not really sure it's fair for our teachers and even for our families to continually program and plan for dismissals at 10:45, 11 o'clock. But this is a little bit different. What this report says here is that we're entering into the record for our team then to submit to the state a look back at our calendar to make sure we complied with the state law. So that's all this report is doing. Again, we're looking back into the prior year. They're called Act 80 days, but again, we've talked in public about how the instructional minutes classification has shifted and that those teacher professional learning days no longer count as student days and student hours. So it's kind of confusing. Dr. Hoffer could probably go into way more detail than me, but essentially we're just looking back.
Appreciate the clarity. Thanks.
Any other discussion for student services? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Under Operations, 7.1, request approval of the stripping, waxing, and sealing of the high school floors by All American Athletics Flooring. CoStar's pricing is in effect at a total cost of $149,600. Funding source is the 2021 C-Bond. 7.2, request approval of Barry Isett for QA services for the Lincoln Park Elementary School construction project in the amount of $250,380.70 under solicitor review. 7.3, request approval of Barry Isett for QA services for the Southern Middle School renovation additions construction project in the amount of $361,893.90, also under solicitor review. 7.4, request approval of the agreement with the Township of Spring for stormwater controls and best practices, operations, and maintenance for the Lincoln Park Elementary School construction project pending solicitor review. 7.5, request approval of change order number 1 by Hearn Nyson Electric, Inc. for the High School Performing Arts Center construction project in the amount of $9,775. 7.6, request approval of the change order number 7 by J.R. Reynolds, Inc. for the High School Performing Arts Center construction project in the amount of $4,117. 7.7, request approval of change order number 2 by JBM Mechanical for the High School Performing Arts Center construction project in the amount of $9,771.20. 7.8, request approval of change order number 3 by JBM Mechanical for the High School Performing Arts Center construction project in the amount of $2,296.40. 7.9, request approval of change order number 4 by JBM Mechanical for the High School Performing Arts Center construction project in the amount of $5,758.86. 7.10, request approval of the instrument for the declaration of restrictions and covenants related to the Lincoln Park Elementary School as attached. And 7.11, request approval of the instrument for the declaration of restrictions and covenants related to the Southern Middle School as attached. Looking for a motion to approve operations items 7.1 through 7.11.
So-
Mr. McCree, thank you. Do we have a second?
Case?
Mr. Case, thank you. Any discussion?
I'll just add that there are quite a few change orders on here, which are normal for most large projects. Just because we're approving them here, to move a project along, there may be a future conversation with the architects or other entities for a conversation of negotiation on who may be, was something forgotten versus something missed versus whatever. So just wanted to throw that out there for clarity.
Thank you, Mr. Case. Any other discussion for operations items?
And I guess lastly, for change orders, if I'm not mistaken, we have $100,000 left in our contingency for change orders.
Yes, that's correct, for the high school performing arts project.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion for operations? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
President Cocker?
Yes.
Again, I apologize. With the restructuring of the agenda and finance now holding payment of bills and the other items under it, can we look possibly at the future of making 8.1 payment of the bills a separate item? Because I know several of us have to abstain from that at times. And instead of waiting until the meeting to do it, if that's something we can maybe have separate.
Sure, especially
Just
just
a thought.
8.1.
8.1, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I go through, we'll just, actually, I'll right now just do 8.1. So, and then we'll just move on to the rest. Thank you, Mr. Hart. Well, and just to draw attention to everyone, draw everyone's attention to the reorganization, as Mr. Hart said, pieces of finance had originally existed in the beginning of the agenda, and then the rest were down in Section 8. So we've rearranged it a little bit to kind of streamline, but we do have some conflicts once in a while for payment of bills. So we will keep that separate and then move through the rest. So looking for a motion to approve payment of bills as presented for the General Fund, Capital Reserve, 221C Construction Fund, Food Service Fund, Child Care Fund, Southern Middle School Activity Fund, West Middle School Student Activity Fund, and the High School Student Activity Fund as presented. Looking for a motion.
McCray.
Mr. McCray, thank you. And a second. Mr. McCree, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, so just for 8.1, roll call, please.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Abstain?
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 abstain.
Okay. 8.2, looking for, or request to approve the financial report. Sorry, this is going to take a little to get used to. I don't just hand it off to Mr. McCray. Request to approve the financial reports as attached. 8.3, request approval of the budget transfers dated June 19th, 2025 through June 30th, 2025 as attached. 8.4, request approval to award the winter athletic uniforms bid. 8.5, request authorization of a $1,869,733.25 letter of credit issued by Tompkins Community Bank in favor of the Township of Spring, Berks County, related to the construction of Lincoln Park Elementary School. The letter of credit will be secured by a Tompkins Community Bank deposit account with Sean McCray, Chris Trickett, and Christine Schlossman as authorized signers. 8.6, request authorization for the professional fee escrow of $10,000 and stormwater fund contribution of $4,615 to Township of Spring, Berks County, related to the construction of Lincoln Park Elementary School. And 8.7, request authorization of a $315,548.30 letter of credit issued to Tompkins Community Bank in favor of the Shillington Municipal Authority related to the water supply line for Lincoln Park Elementary School. The line of credit will be secured by a Tompkins Community Bank deposit account with Sean McCray, Chris Trickett, and Christine Schlossman as authorized signers. Looking for a motion to approve finance items 8.2 through 8.7.
McCray.
Mr. McCray, thank you, and Mr. McCree as a second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Under Teaching and Learning, 9.1, request approval of agreements with Swiss Suite to implement school-wide positive behavioral interventions and supports at Cornwall Terrace, Spring Ridge, and Shiloh Hills Elementary School. 9.2, we are going to have as a pull-out, so I will return to that. 9.3, request approval of the affiliation agreement between Wilkes University and Wilson School District as attached, pending solicitor review and approval. 9.4, request approval of agreements with Science Explorers for use of rooms at elementary school buildings for hands-on STEM enrichment programs. 9.5, request approval of a contract with Chester County IU Brandywine Virtual Academy for the 2025-26 school year. 9.6, request to approve the contract for service with the Reading Writing Project Network for middle school professional development. 9.7, request to approve the contract for services with the Reading Writing Project Network for elementary professional development. Looking to approve items 9.1 as well as 9.3 through 9.7. Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Do we have a second?
Schneider.
Mr. Schneider, thank you. Any discussion?
I just had a quick question on 9.1, why those schools were identified and the other elementary schools were not.
Great question. Just has to do with where they are with their implementation of the positive behavior program that they're running. So those 3 schools are farther ahead. I think it was last year we had 1 on the agenda, or 2. Now we're up to 3, and Dr. Cachufo is working with our principals at the other 2 schools to make sure that they're moving in a positive direction. So these are just our early adopters.
Thank you for the clarification.
Any other discussion for teaching and learning?
Do we really need 9.1? I mean, if you had to sell us that, why are we're going to pay companies to tell us where our problems are? Or am I not reading into this right?
I think that, our teams have been working through this, inclusive of our teachers, our counselors, our entire professional staff at each school, and this is just a tool that they use to help pull together and monitor student behavior and how we respond to different low-level behaviors and the impact of our response. So it's just another tool that we use to try to help young children, develop the skills that they need to make good decisions in school. The other reason would be that our principals support it, principals have bought in, and they're recommending it, seconded by the fact that Teaching and Learning has advocated now for the last 3 years. So,
And will the data points be shared with the board, the community?
yeah, sure. I mean, we definitely use the data points internally to look as one of our measures of data. Again, data is interesting. We just received our Keystone data this week. I guess that was last week. We received our PSSA data, attendance data, behavioral data. This is, again, just one of those tools that we use to try to inform the decisions that we make for our kids and teachers. The data that we have can be disaggregated. It can be looked at by school, by grade level. Perhaps in the future, having a team of principals and teachers come to a curriculum committee to share how they're using this data and how it drives what they're doing is a good approach. I do know we've talked about it before at curriculum. Again, I know we've talked about with our principals. But again, it's just another tool that we use. Specifically, this is more in line with focusing on student behaviors in elementary.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion for teaching and learning? Okay, hearing none. Roll call on 9.1 and 9.3 through 9.7, please.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
Back to 9.2, request approval of the 2025-26 University of Pittsburgh Wilson School District dual enrollment agreement as attached. Looking for a motion for 9.2. Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Do we have a second?
Denny?
Mrs. Denny, thank you. Any discussion?
I just want to comment how exciting I think this is, that we're doing this. First off, University of Pittsburgh is a great school. I got my master's there. It's an amazing school for us to partner with. But in terms of the opportunities for our students, this is one of the areas where I think Wilson really surpasses a lot of public schools to have this level of opportunity. And I spoke with Dr. Weber about this because I was curious how it was going to work, since we do, in fact, already offer an AP psychology class with an exceptional teacher. Some of you may know Mrs. Schneider. And I was curious how this was going to work, and what he told me is that it's going to be the AP curriculum course, and students will take it, and then at the end they can choose whether they want to go for the AP class or if they want to pay for the credits to get it through the University of Pittsburgh. Which is great, because though I haven't encountered this yet, some of you with kids in college may know that whole, whether you do AP or dual enrollment, what is best, and it really varies, is my understanding, on the child and where they're going to school and what they're going to study. So this is going to give our students so many more options. And if you look at local community college per credit, it's about $225 per credit, and students who do this and choose the dual enrollment are going to get 3 credits for $225. It's an incredible deal. It's really going to set our students apart, and this is just a wonderful thing we're doing, so I wanted to highlight it for our community.
Thank you, Mrs. Denny. Yes, Dr. Trickett.
Just real quickly to add on to Mrs. Denny's comments. So dual enrollment is definitely an area that our district has embraced and tried to encourage our children and families to consider, ahead of many neighboring school districts. Again, going back to the data and how we use data and the accolades perhaps that could come from focusing on certain data points. For schools to receive some national ranking in regards to especially high schools, high-performing high schools across America and the Commonwealth, one of the data points that they use heavily is the number of students that are taking and achieving a 3 or better on AP tests. And there's percentages that they look at as compared to the entire student population. So when a district like Wilson says that, or makes a decision or pushes and encourages families to consider all options, like dual enrollment, we're also consciously making a decision to not chase the target of U.S. News & World Report or other of rankings that you all see with different real estate apps you go on. However, we do so because we believe it's in the best interest of kids. And we are providing choice. And this is another great example of choice in the Wilson School District, where kids can take the AP psychology class, AP literature, AP Lang, a variety of other AP courses in our district, and take the AP test, and take dual enrollment credit, or take the test, or go for dual enrollment credit. So we're not excluding, we're not limiting kids and families. We're saying there's options for you, and we're empowering you as a family to make the best decision for your child. Depends on where the child's going, depends on where their dreams are aligned, but this is another example. 6 full sections of kids taking this class will have the option for $225 credit to do dual enrollment, or take the AP exam, or do both. So I just wanted to clarify that, and just commend the board for continuing to support this type of more progressive approach.
Thank you. Any other discussion for 9.2? Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Roll call on 9.2, please.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Abstain.
Mr. Case,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 abstain.
Under Transportation, 10.1, request approval of a contract between School Operations Services Group and the Wilson School District as attached. And 10.2, request approval of opening purchase orders for the 2026-27 school year to facilitate the procurement of school vehicles to be invoiced and delivered July 1st, 2026 or later, utilizing 2026 capital reserve funds not to exceed $1,498,490. Looking for a motion to approve transportation items 10.1 and 10.2.
So moved. Case?
Mr. Case, thank you. Do we have a second?
Denny?
Mrs. Denny, thank you. Any discussion?
I just wanted to add that this was, the buses for Lincoln Park were earmarked and budgeted with the capital fund reserve, so, within the last 6 months, that we knew these costs were coming, so presented to the board, but this was part of the budgeting plan for the new elementary school, if we were going to move forward with that, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Case. And for the, we don't know exactly what students are going to be bused to Lincoln Park yet. Obviously, there isn't a map drawn, so that is a process that I know the administration is working towards, but so that they are prepared and have them on the ready. There are 4 buses earmarked. Maybe we won't need all of them, but we have them just in case. So that's going to be a fun exercise to shuffle everything around, but I have absolute faith in this administrative team, and their communication with the community. I'm sure, kids there'll be 4-year-olds that know what bus they're going to be going on before they're, even in kindergarten. So look forward to that over the next year. Okay, any other discussion for transportation? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. McCree?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes?
Mrs. Denny?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mrs. Casper?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. McCray?
Yes.
Mrs. Cocker?
Yes.
9 yes, 0 no.
We have no public participation on non-agenda items this evening. Any other business from the board? Dr. Kennedy?
I just want to make a super quick comment. There's so many things in this community that we can be proud of, and so many of it are things that we do in this district. Like, I love when we have high school football games and community members come out, and whether they have a high school or not, I think our plays are the same way. Some of the newer things we do are like the graduation parade. One of the things in the community that feels that way that isn't school-related is Owls baseball. And I wanted to congratulate the Owls baseball team for winning the county championship last week. And they are somehow incredibly still in the regional championship this week, almost impossibly so, going up against Legion teams from very large suburban districts like Quakertown and Parkland, and they're really holding their own. And I just want to point out that the Owls is completely voluntarily run. From the guys who sweep the field every game, to the guys who cook the hamburgers, to the moms that drop off kids and work the ticket stand and it is 100% community run, and it is the most stunning baseball facility in all of Berks County. And I want to give a shout out to all of the volunteers that make that happen. It's one of the places where you will find community members just stopping by to see a baseball game, whether or not they have a kiddo on the team or not. I also want to give a shout out to the lovely firefighters at the fire station across the street. My child may have locked his uniform in his car, and I may have had to knock on the door and say, "Can you break into my child's car so that..." And they did it. And then we chatted about Owls baseball for 20 minutes. It was fantastic. But they are, the guys at the firehouse are super supportive. That whole West Wyomissing community is very supportive. Anybody that comes to play basketball at the courts will come over. They'll check out the Owls snack stand. But these kiddos are, really trying hard, and the coaches are all volunteer. And we have been to Boyertown every day for the past 4 days. It's a 45-minute trip each way. We may be going to Erie next week. We've had parents who have missed their vacations this week to make sure their kids go to the Owls baseball game. And it's just such a wonderful organization and a great opportunity for our kids to continue their love of baseball. So big shout out. Wish we had a field for our school as nice as Owls Field. But congratulations, and hopefully, if anybody is in Boyertown tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we'll be playing at 1, and hopefully we'll be playing again later on that evening. So, go Owls.
Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. Any other discussion from the board? Any other business from the board? No? Dr. Trickett?
Just real quick, positive shout-outs. Mr. Williams informed me that today we had 100% pass rate for all of our transportation fleet with the PA State Trooper inspection. So I just wanted to thank the drivers, the mechanics, the office personnel, everyone again for ensuring that our buses are safe for our kids. It's also a reminder that school starts in just a few short weeks here. Don't blink and it'll be August, right, Mr. Williams?
Thank you, Dr. Trickett, for that reminder. You're like a Target commercial over here. Just too early. It's too early. All right, any other discussion from the board? Okay, hearing none, looking for a motion to adjourn.
Schneider, so moved.
Meeting adjourned.